Figures from the British Retail Consortium show food prices hitting a high not seen since records began in 2005.
Very dear. Everything going up.
Sugar, flour, bread, everything is going up.
The Governor of the Bank of England warning of apocalyptic food price hikes.
Poorer households in Britain, even before this crisis, were spending 60% of their household budgets on essentials.
It's just everything you look at's gone up. Everything. It's frightening.
Things are expensive, like 25% or 30%.
1 in 5 people in Britain saying that they're skipping meals to cope with the cost of living crisis.
You used to eat 3 times a day. Now you have to limit it to 1 time a day.
So in January 2020, we start to hear from church leaders and community leaders about prices going up. And that was largely food. So your £10 meal deal, it stayed at £10. But your 30p bag of pasta went to 60p. That's how it starts. The bargain basement moved up a level. And so people for whom that was how they lived, they started to feel it first. But also the strategies they had in place to make life work. Going to 3 different supermarkets to get the cheapest products, the waiting for the yellow sticker to come on, all of that went away. So even if money didn't fall, expenses went up. And it was that broke lots of people's budgets. And from April to September, Trussell Trust's food banks, who represent around about half of the food banks in the country, they serve 1.3 million parcels of food. That is the highest ever in our 23-year history. That is more than during the pandemic. And that's over the summer, which is by and large the good time. It's the winter where we tend to expect a rise.
We've had over 20,000 customers throughout the time that we've been open. We get about, probably about 110, 120 people a day currently. And there are some people are here from even 9:30 in the morning, and we don't open till 11, so they're out there in all weathers. And then there are some people who come from all over Swindon to use this facility.
There's been times you wake up, don't know what you're going to eat for the day.
So we've had to go to the food bank a couple of times now, and even when I'm walking there, I feel embarrassed. I feel really embarrassed that I have to be there in the first place. And even dealing with the people, they're always so nice. They are really nice people, and they're always generous. But I feel really embarrassed to be there. And I literally cannot wait to walk away again. And I almost hope that nobody actually registers you when you go there. why should I have to go to the food bank to be able to put beans on some toast for the kids, or, you know, because my money is spent on the fresh vegetables and fruit that they actually both want to be eating. I shouldn't have to go. I've got a really well-paid job, a job that I've done for years and years. Why should I have to go to the food bank? I feel really embarrassed, and I literally cannot wait to walk away again.
It's important to listen to people, to really see through their eyes the reality. This is not just about money, although it is about money. It's the stress that people are put under, the impact it has on their health and mental health, that this is a kind of whole issue affecting people and communities. It's important to acknowledge that people in poverty, people struggling, are as much made in the image and likeness of God as anybody else, and have God-given talents and ideas, and that's very countercultural. Our culture says that people in poverty are sometimes there because of their own fault, because they're somehow lacking as individuals, and therefore we need to kind of charge in and fix things for them. And that in itself can disempower people. The key things are about recognising and affirming dignity, that people have dignity, that the cost of living crisis can undermine that dignity, but also the way that we choose to respond can either help people retain dignity, or if we do things wrong, can sometimes undermine people's dignity as well.
Shameful for me, very, very shameful. I don't want my picture on camera because I feel very, very embarrassed. And when you see all these people standing here, you know, I know they get judged. You know, people will judge us and say, that's why I don't like your face on the camera, and say to them, you know, what are they doing there? They should get out and get a job. And a lot of people say, oh, just pull yourself together, you're going to be all right. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. I mean, I've come to this stages where I think to myself, what am I doing here? You know, what am I doing here? I'm 64 now, and I think to myself, I don't need to be here. You know, I don't think I would kill myself or anything. I've got children, but it's like with all the anxieties and depressions and different things, you think, what sort of life is this? And it's not a life. I ate it. I absolutely ate it.
You know, I remember when food bank started, it wasn't, the plan was not to let it run for years. It was supposed to be a short-term remedy, but it's gone on and on now because we haven't found that long-term solution.
We shouldn't celebrate when we open a food bank. It's not a success on the part of the church that we're providing that service. We should be really asking the hard questions about what can we do to work towards ending this? What can we do towards closing our food bank?
One very practical thing that we're supporting increasing numbers of churches to do is to open a local pantry. What's important about a local pantry is it's a member-run food club, and people pay a weekly fee in order to be able to come and choose food for themselves. The food is of good quality, so the whole ethos is about dignity, choice and hope.
Food pantry models are a lot about setting up almost like a mini supermarket that you can come and choose, that you can come and pay what you can, and you have choice and agency over what you take home. It's just that slight shift in saying, actually, we hear you, We hear what will give you agency, what will respect your dignity, and we want to create that space with you.
It's totally made a big difference with money saving, definitely. I can make a meal out of a couple of wee things that are in here, so it's brilliant.
It's helped me immensely. I joined up and I paid my $3.50 subscription and got my shopping. I look forward to coming here on a Monday. It gives me a boost.
I think the thing about a pantry is it's about food with dignity, so people don't want to appear as though they're in crisis. And food banks certainly have their place, but the beauty of the pantry is that people are giving something to it. So with the membership fee, they feel as though they're able to give something and get something back. That's a really powerful model.
Churches that have opened pantries, it transforms for many of them their relationship with their community. So people that previously had no connection with the church now see their pantry as it's their thing.
Our churches have a decision to make about the way their worship is embodied in their lives. We sing these songs, don't we, week in, week out, that says something about what we're going to do when we leave the doors. I grew up in a church that used to sing this song that paraphrased a proverb, Proverb 31, and it said, "I will speak out for those who have no voices. I will stand up for the rights of all the oppressed. I will stand for truth and justice. I will defend the poor and the needy. I will lift up the weak in Jesus' name." It's not a song that we sing very much anymore, but we can sing that song in the way that we live our lives as Christians and the way that we determine our mission in our church. But there are other songs that we sing that are different choices about the way we go about our worship and our mission. You know, there's a verse that has largely been forgotten from the wonderful, otherwise wonderful hymn, All Things Bright and Beautiful, that says, "The rich man in his castle, the poor man at his gate, God made them high and lowly and ordered their estate." Now, we don't sing that verse anymore. Thank God we don't sing that verse anymore. But some of our churches still embody that verse in the way that they go about their mission, because they don't see the pursuit of justice as something that is central to the calling of their church. Their mission for them is intrinsically related to evangelism, which I'm not denying. Evangelism is a key part of what our church needs to be about. But it is so much more than that. And by our lives of living a mission that says poverty is inevitable. Jesus said, didn't he, that the poor will always be with us. And they throw away that verse as if there's a certain inevitability about it, or God forbid that there might even be something God ordained in the injustices and the inequalities of our world. That verse in All Things Bright and Beautiful used to insinuate. And I just want to say that our inaction is an injustice.